Indeed, we have in the studio, quite the guest. We've been looking forward to your visit. We have with us Joshua Kalinan. He is not just, we always hear about wine sommeliers, he's a sake sommelier. Wow.
Welcome, Joshua.
And as you won't be able to see this, okay, because we can't quite point the cameras down, but maybe we can lift it up. He's brought in everything, the cups, the sake wooden box, very, very traditional there. Yes, the vessels to hold the sake, and two gorgeous bottles of sake. You do know that we're kind of working right now. Maybe a sip of sake for us all, Joshua.
Too early.
It's never too early. That's hilarious.
Hey, Joshua, tell us more about yourself. You know, you won the Sake Sommelier of the Year competition in 2018. Yes. What actually sparked this interest in sake?
Yeah.
Actually, I never expected myself to be in this sake journey. I was actually with Singapore Airlines for 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, then I was a sommelier there. I was the in-flight manager, management. I was a trainer. I designed the sommelier badge. And also selected the sake for Singapore Airlines.
Oh, there's a aircrew. They have a badge.
Yeah,
all of them have it, or
no? Only
select?
those who are selected as a sommelier.
Wow. And how do you get selected?
Oh, we were one of the earliest batch of sommeliers.
Okay.
That means you go for a test, local test, then you sit for a UK certification exam.
Wow.
It's all very legit.
Very serious.
Yeah, my wife was a Singapore girl for like 3 years, and so she did the basic one, I think, not the top one, and that sparked her interest. So she's just taken another wine course as well on Skills Future right after. So it's what you've done. You kind of pioneered it all. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was also the trainers that teaches wine and cocktails for newbies. You know, those newbies who comes in.
Yep.
Teach them how to make cocktails like screwdriver.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
Then how to teach them how to explain what is the wine. You know, how you pronounce not Bordeaux. You know,
Yes.
Bordeaux.
You know.
Cute.
So then it sparked my interest. Then I also helped to design the sommelier badge. Then I selected the sake for SIA because I was quite good in that.
Ooh.
So I selected the sake that's on board used for first and business class.
Wow.
Yeah, so that people will enjoy sake, not just with Japanese food, also with the international cuisine that we have on board.
That is very interesting.
It is, yeah. When did this interest in sake come about in Singapore? I think, it wasn't until quite recently, maybe 20 years ago, that there was a sudden interest in sake.
It might even be more recent. Is that what you're
Actually,
saying?
It's more recent, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because people are talking about wine,
Yeah, for the longest time.
Then after that, I went to Japan to take my one of the toughest exam in wine. Then I fell in love with sake.
So you went to Japan to take a wine test.
A wine exam is one of the most difficult one. They call it the CWE.
Oh.
I could either take it in San Francisco or in Japan.
Okay.
So and that time was the time that I have to bring my wife in because we are trying to have a baby.
Ooh.
And I said, hey, I'm studying for my exam. How can I bring you along? She said, no, this is the last time that we need to have it, is it?
Okay.
So after the exam, she says, shall we have sake? I said, why suddenly? Okay, so the exam
in
was
Japan.
in
Makes
Japan.
sense.
We had half a day of doing my exams, and I was totally exhausted. My tongue was
sure.
tired, and I just don't want to drink any more wine. And suddenly the thing about sake popped up, and we went to izakaya, had some, and that's the story. And
So your decision to do that wine exam in Japan rather than France actually has led you to where you are now.
yes.
That's amazing. Some of these quirks are so incredible.
Yeah.
You never
yeah.
expect that journey, but suddenly the journey just pops up.
So you're sitting at this izakaya and you're like, hey, this sake is actually quite good. And you're just like, I want to know more. And from there?
Yes, it's from there, and it's also difficult for me because wines is so easy. You know, you look at the bottle. Is it Australian American?
Because you can immediately read it.
Yeah,
right.
For kanji, it's like, oh, what is this? So that was very difficult. And 2014, I took the exam. One of the earliest to take, one of the first Singaporean from Singapore Airlines to take the certified sake sommelier exam. I passed it. Then,
Congratulations.
thank you. Then in 2015, the association asked me, "Do you want to be one of the sake judge?" I said, "Oh, I'm so young. No, why don't you try?" So I went. And I was one of the first to be the sake judge for London Sake Challenge. And I was quite itchy. And they said, why don't you take part in the competition? I said, oh, I'm just new. Okay, I'll try. So when I tried, I just landed at semi-finals.
So that's to What happens in this competition? Like, what do you have
The
to
sake
do?
competition, the London Sake Challenge is different because you select the sakes blindly and rate them according to the gold medal or awards.
Okay.
And they will
Okay.
display the stickers.
I see.
Blind. But the sommelier competition is tougher because you need to know the theory part, you need to know the
Sure.
practical part of tasting, and you need to know pairing, and you need to know service. So it's like half a day just for the exam.
There's a lot that goes on. I didn't think, I thought it's all about knowing your wines. Like, I like the taste of this, I like the taste of this. This goes with fish, but there's so much more behind it. It's a science, really.
It's actually a science. It's
We
not
are-
just being alcoholic. People always say you just drink. No.
No, that never crossed our mind. No.
That's the reason why I brought 2 bottles. here.
Yes, no, and not alcoholic at all. Yes. So we are going to head on to our Facebook Live. Join us then, facebook.com/1FM913 to find out more about sake and your journey as well. Joshua, come and hear from him. Really, really interesting. Keep it right here on 1FM.
Want to say good morning to our Brightside buddies who have joined us online on
Yes.
Facebook. Jesslyn says, Joshua is absolutely right. It's never too early for sake. Amen to that.
Oh, I love that!
Yes.
We got the
yes.
right group of people joining us this morning. Joanna actually wants to know. Let's cut to the chase, all right?
Okay.
Ready? Joshua, what's your favorite sake?
Ooh.
It's a lot actually. Depends on what I eat. I love to pair with local food, which we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Oh, yes, please.
Yes, and I love to try something very fruity to start with. That will create that kind of that love for sake. And for novice, I always say don't go for the dry one first. Go for the fruitier one, not cloyingly sweet.
Okay.
Yes.
But something fruity.
Right.
That will excite the palate.
Excite the
Yeah,
palate.
I think that's very important.
You're
Yes.
getting me excited.
Joanna also said, I love sake, I love champagne and sake, my poisons.
Wow.
Poison.
Wish you could be here, man. So, let's talk a little bit about these two, what you've brought in today, a
Okay.
whole array of stuff.
Okay, first, you need to understand the cookery that you use for sake.
We will lift it up to the camera to show everybody on Facebook Live. So, Joshua,
It's
what do
empty,
we
I'm
have
sorry.
there? You're holding?
Okay, that's a goinomi.
Go.
Goinomi.
Goinomi.
It's actually the bigger than the. This is Shehzad is holding. It's called an ochoko.
Ochoko.
Okay.
What does it mean? Tiny,
it's a,
petite.
It's a petite cup.
So, bigger better or no? What? The different purposes.
Okay, in Japanese culture, drinking, Carol is holding a tokuri, which is a flask.
Which you don't swig from, right?
Yes, you don't drink from that.
No.
You actually pour it from bottle
Someone
inside.
beat me to it. I'm sorry.
And then when you, the reason why the cups are small is because it's not to take sake shots. You do you talk
Sip.
to each other, and we talk to each other.
Uh-huh.
We pour for each other.
You pour for
each other, and
I
you can't
love
pour for
that.
yourself.
I didn't know that.
You need to pour for each other.
I didn't
That's
know
how.
that
That's
the
why you said
culture-
part of the services, that
Yes,
you do it
so
for...
you do it for people. It's to create that kind of conversation. You just don't take sake shots.
Okay, you
Yeah.
got to drink it, sip it
Sip
slowly.
it slowly. Then this one the guest you will hold it. Then the guest you will take turn to hold it and pour for your guests.
I see. So basically, when it's my turn to pour, I just hold it all
You
the
just hold
time.
it, yeah.
Then secretly,
Oh,
one for you, two for me.
Hey, the bottle is
One
finished
for you.
already?
Yeah, one more. One thing.
So what's the bigger one?
the bigger one is goinomi. Usually it is tasted in the brewery because it's bigger, And sometimes you got these little colors inside to show you the whether the sake is spoiled or not.
Oh,
it's
like
like
the
the evil
clarity
eye,
of it.
the kind of thing. The blue and the white kind of stuff.
Okay.
What does it react to the
what
sake?
do
You wouldn't
looking
react.
for?
It's like when you pour, if the sake is bad, you can see the color change.
Oh, on its own.
On its own, yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know all
It turns
that.
blue.
So interesting.
No, the blue is in the middle of the
in the cup.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So it
Right.
highlights the color.
Color, yeah.
So this is more for people like say
you know
are
about sake,
right.
Yeah, then
and
you have the cups also, the glasses.
That's
It's a-
huge though.
yeah. Then this is the olden days. They call it masu.
This is how
Okay.
they used to drink out of
In
this.
the olden days.
Oh.
In the
Why
syrups
is that?
for the this was used actually in the past to measure the rice.
Yes.
It's
okay.
like ichigo means 1 cup.
Oh, so
This
that's
is the
their
equivalent
cup.
of 1 cup.
1 cup, 180 ml.
Okay.
So when you're making a bottle of sake, for instance, how much rice goes into it?
Oh, depends on the polishing. The more you polish, like I brought in a polishing kit.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
It shows, it's in Japanese we call it semaboe. That means the more you polish, for example, rice is 100%.
Yep.
They take months or sometimes weeks to polish the rice, right down to today's the world record is about 0.8.
gosh.
smallest.
Yeah, because some of these beads, so I
Are
suppose
very-
the
yeah.
smaller they are, the more polished they are,
And
right?
the more expensive they are.
And the more expensive. Okay, so
Yeah.
the
Is it
one...
because there's more wastage? Like, because you polish away
Yeah,
stuff.
there's more
so
wastage. Not
there's-
actually wastage, because the
Time.
leftover stuff
What do
it's
they
was
do with
used
it?
for some
Facial products.
Facial products
Really?
used for making rice crackers.
Okay,
Oh, I
so
love
there's
those.
no wastage.
No wastage.
That's
no
wonderful
wastage.
to know.
And the husk is used for as fertilizers.
oh wow.
So almost everything is used.
Nothing's wasted.
Nothing's wasted.
I didn't know that about the rice.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, so the more you polish, the more expensive it's going to be.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to find out a little bit more because you're going to take us through about
Exciting.
the glass, the shot glasses for sake.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to head back on air. Oh my goodness, Joshua, this is a wealth of information. Quick question: do you speak Japanese well?
Skoshi
Fluently?
koshi.
Oh, there you
Koshi,
go.
koshi. Oh,
There
skoshi,
you
koshi.
go.
Koshi, okay.
So
Are
join
we sure
us.
that's Japanese?
Oh, so join us on the Brightside on 1FM. That's Skater Boy. I'm waiting for that part to come in. Avril Lavigne, but here we're talking to Sake Boy, Joshua, Kalinan. Oh my goodness, it's fascinating.
She goes sake man, but today you're a boy, yeah, Joshua?
No, I don't know. I'm just trying to come off the song. No, you are a very manly sake man.
Thank you.
So Joshua, I want to ask, because I'm holding up the rice grains here.
Yes.
Could you explain the percentages and what does that mean? So why is it that you need to polish, and what's important about polishing with regards to sake?
Okay. If you don't polish, you get a lot of rough characters.
Okay.
A lot of rough grades. You need to polish to remove the fat contents, the oil contents from
In
the
rice?
Yeah, the
There's
rice
fat in
contents.
rice?
Yes, yeah, and lipids and all this.
Ah.
And to go to the
I did not
core.
know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and to go to the core, they
Interesting.
call it shimpaku. In Japanese, the core. When you look at the rice carefully, the sake rice, not the normal rice that you eat at home.
Okay.
There is a little dot. That is the starch.
Wow.
So you need to go to that
You
polishing.
only want that.
That one, yeah, but that takes a while to polish because not all rice you can polish it because after a while they start to crack.
What is the polishing process
Yeah,
like?
I was just
Is it
gonna ask, how do
Somebody with a cloth and like.
No.
Each grain
Okay,
going-
they have a polishing machine, a big polishing machine. So it's
Okay.
through gravity. There's two stones who will polish the rice, and they will need to rest the rice for a while.
Before they can go again.
And then
Okay.
they shake it like a Polaroid picture?
And the powder will be at the bottom of the machine.
So the powder is what you want?
no, you want the rice.
Oh, you want to rice?
The
What's the
grains
rice?
itself.
What are the percentages then?
That means how much left on the rice.
So the lower the percentage,
The better.
the better. Is that
No,
right?
it's going to be more refined. That's all. More delicate. That's
see.
all.
Ah.
Yeah,
and
it's
give you
not
a different taste profile.
different taste
kinda.
profile.
I see.
Oh, I see. So it doesn't mean that because it's more polished, it's better.
not necessary.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. I
Got
didn't
it.
know that.
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know
Okay.
that. Yeah.
So tell us, Joshua, what should we be looking out for in good sake?
First of all, it should be if it's there's such thing called a table sake, just like wine.
Okay.
So there's I didn't bring table sake today. I bring the best.
All
Yo,
right.
Joshua.
The best
like
for the
it.
bright side.
Thank you.
We love you.
Sweet
Thank
guy.
you.
You can stay, We'll come back every week or every day.
So first of all, you need to look at what you want to buy.
Okay.
So it's good to know the Sema Boy.
Okay.
The polishing. It's very easy when you look at the bottle behind. It will states the polishing.
Okay.
Every good quality sake
So that's
needs to
3
show
grain?
You 3 grain, and the polishing is 50%.
Ah.
Yeah.
Can I hold that up for our camera?
Don't open it, okay?
Okay, yeah. And don't swig from it.
I thought that's why you brought it, Joshua.
No la.
Don't friend you
No
anymore.
la.
So you need to look at the polishing first. So if you want to drink a very delicate sake, then you go down below 50.
So it's something that's
So
not the dryness. When we talk about sake, I'm always hearing dry and sweet.
But the
so
dryness is because of the fermentation. That will be dry. So the longer they ferment, it's like wine. The yeast will, release the then the sugar, then the
I
carbon dioxide.
see.
They will eat up all the rice and becomes drier. So
you're
at
saying-
that point, they will stop the fermentation to create whether you want a fruity sake or a dry sake.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's really interesting. So if you want, what is it again for the
Sema
lower
Boy,
percentages?
then you need the sake will be very delicate.
I see.
So less harsh.
delicate.
Is that right?
It's going to be very smooth. on it.
Smooth,
Yeah,
right.
that's why I brought this.
Okay.
I didn't bring the less polished ones because it's a bit too early in the morning to start.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
So polishing is very important.
Okay.
Don't be so brand conscious. I think we Singaporeans tend to be quite brand conscious. Want to buy the best brand when you started off as a sake.
So what should we do
We
instead?
just look at the percentage.
Okay.
There's such thing called that's unfortunately you need to know. No, fortunately you need to know the character like Jumai.
I heard
Jumai
that,
means
yeah.
Jumai means pure rice. That means no alcohol added after fermentation, after pressing.
Okay.
So that means the first grade, the style is quite have a lot of umami characters in it.
Okay.
Interesting.
So when you polish even lower, you have very delicate flavors and a bit of sweetness in a sake.
I want to ask you, what are Dasai numbers?
Oh, that's a big brand. I visited them in
Okay.
March. They are big company. Their labels, it's very interesting because they only use one rice, which is the Yamada Nishiki,
Okay.
which is the
That's
king of rice.
a particular
A
grain.
particular grain of rice, which is the king of
Okay,
rice, and they
okay.
used to put the polishing numbers there, so people will know. Oh, if it's 29 means 39 means it's polished to up to 39 level. That's all. Yeah.
But would they have to be someone sort of on your level, like the people who get Dasai to put those kind of numbers? Does it mean a lot to people or not?
It's for labels. It's easy
Okay.
to understand label. But today a lot of breweries like this, Born I brought, they put English labels there. So and like Omine also that I brought.
By the way, someone is actually chiming in on Facebook.
Yeah,
Ruben, good
yeah.
morning. He says, Omine, 3 grain, yums, he says.
Oh.
The master in person.
Nice,
So Ruben wants to
nice.
say hello.
Oh.
I thought it's not Omina.
No, Omine.
Omine.
It's Japanese called Omine.
Okay, spelled the same
By
way
the
though.
way, Joanna, who had messaged earlier to say that she loves sake,
Okay.
she said it's such an achievement for a Singaporean. She's very proud of you.
Thank you so much.
So really well done. You're flying the flag for us.
Yeah,
In-
really representing
And I
us.
guess in a field that was dominated by Japanese experts.
Yes, actually.
So are you one of the very, very few non-Japanese who are
I was
sort
the
of
first Singaporean to
Right.
win. Yeah, and very non-Japanese. Thank you.
We will cheers to
Alcohol
that.
field, not in sports.
It's all right. You're at the World Cup. We got to one World Cup at least.
This cup, the World
The
Cup.
World, the World
I
Sake
like that.
Cup. The
I
World
like
Sake
it.
Cup.
I think that's great too. And we're going to jump back on Facebook Live before we come back to really wrap up all this whole journey of sake. I think you need to take us through how to pair sake with local food.
Oh, definitely, I'm waiting for it.
Let's do that here on The Bright Side. Hey everybody, are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, I hear some twisting like a bottle cap opening.
He opened it. I thought you told me not to open it.
I'll
Yeah.
open it.
He-
as a
Oh,
gentleman.
You
remember,
see, it's so
remember,
sweet.
The
Carol,
service, right?
Carol, you never,
I can't
you never
pour for-
open or do it for yourself. Someone does it for
my
you.
heart's just melting.
Okay.
Joshua, you're so sweet.
So is sake like wine where you kind of have to like air it, you know, the kind of rules? Like,
When you open it, you don't have to put in a decanter.
okay.
You don't have to.
Just drink from the bottle.
No. Use a straw.
Use a straw. Use a straw.
I like that. I love that.
Yeah.
We need to get a straw in just so we can take a shot of you and Carol like drinking from these big
Oh my
sake bottles with a
gosh.
straw. That's hilarious. Okay.
You don't have to. You don't have to. Decant it. You can drink it straight away. There's a lot of vessels to use.
Yeah.
And I always love to recommend using a wine glass. Actually.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, a lot of people think, you shouldn't use wine glass, but a lot of flavors are in this bottle of sake. So it's just like
Okay.
wine, you know. So sometimes the flavor changes according to temperature too.
And also, a lot of people who may not know so much about sake have heard, you have it hot, you have it cold. Explain
Yes.
that a little bit. If you don't mind.
They call it kan sake in Japanese. That means, I know a bit of Japanese, right?
You know a lot of Japanese. I mean, just to
Mushi,
remember.
Mushi,
Yeah.
mushi.
Okay.
Okay,
Toyota.
Toyota, no.
No. Okay. Try it.
Okay. Kan sake means in the olden days, most of the sakes are not well polished. So they used to drink it warm.
That
Why?
helps with the flavor.
The flavors, sometimes to hide away. But in today's context, even a good bottle of sake, you can drink it warm.
I like warm sake. It seems to go into your bloodstream faster.
Yeah, it gets even higher, even
Yeah.
faster.
Is that what it is?
That's how I feel when I
in
drink hot
winter,
sake.
when you drink sake,
It gets into
I
your
love
stream.
and it's so
Yeah.
easy to drink.
Yeah.
When you walked out from the izakaya,
That fresh air when it hits you, right?
I know you feel like the world is spinning.
Spinning. Oh no! I thought the world is good.
The word is
you
always
know?
good.
Yes.
So usually I wouldn't recommend a beautiful bottle. If you so polished it so beautifully, like 58% and below, I wouldn't recommend it to be warm.
Okay.
I would rather
Okay.
drink it
Cool.
because the flavors are so beautiful. It
Okay.
takes months to polish.
Okay.
So I would rather polish. I would drink sake like maybe about 70-80%.
And above.
Then you warm
that
it up.
one you can warm it up.
Warm it up.
Okay, okay.
Oh, and
Got
there are
it.
some sake which is added alcohol. That means you do not see the word jumai anymore. You will see the word maybe toko honjozo, daiginjo, or ginjo.
Which means that other stuff's in.
No, that means after they press it,
Okay.
they added distilled alcohol to lighten up the flavor.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Joshua, all this is very good, but what's the cheat sheet? Because after the words leave your mouth, right, I also don't know. Toa Payoh and all that.
just
Sound the
drink-
same.
just drink it.
Just drink.
Just drink
So
it.
also, our Brightside listener is asking, what's the cheat sheet?
Toa Payoh sound
No,
the same.
actually, the cheat sheet is what you enjoy in your palate. I think that's the most important.
So same like a lot of wine sommeliers also say this, right? When it comes to wine as well, just any alcohol,
Yeah.
gin or whatever, it's about what you like.
What you enjoy. It's
Don't
not the
care
bottle,
about the
price,
brand
the
or the
price.
price. So same for sake.
Ignore Joshua, just mind your own palate.
Hey, what?
Right? That's what you're saying, right?
No, Joshua has to answer a very, very crucial question, which is
What goes with
pairing-
Hokkien Mee, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Carrot cake.
Okay. I started this trend about tasting. I did during COVID. I was not flying,
Okay.
so I collaborated with this company called Sake SG, and we did live. We did Zoom live
Okay.
local food pairing. That
Oh,
means
nice.
they will start selling the bottles
Right.
online. Then I would recommend suggested pairing.
Can we
And-
still see these videos online if we search for
don't
like
think so.
Joshua and sake?
No, because that was a Zoom.
I
It was not
see.
recorded.
All right.
So,
So
what
what
we did
happened?
was we will like invite. They were like 20 old people who buy the kit, and I'll be in that studio with them, and I with the like what I'm right now. Okay, right now we're going to try this with sake with Hokkien Mee. So people will buy like Hokkien Mee, and they will try. Hey, Joshua, yeah, I think it's nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I did it with Sake AG for quite a while.
Okay,
And it was
so
very
you
nice.
started that.
Yeah, I started, but before that, I was talking about local food pairing long time ago.
That's true.
My
Wow.
favorite place is East Coast Lagoon, where I go with my family.
My hood.
Same. I'm living in the East.
Oh, wow. We got to meet for sake.
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
and now we envision like two of them, the sake bottles, one straw, and then the East Coast Park in
I
the
can't wait.
background.
How today? What
Looks
you doing?
great.
What are you doing this evening?
I'm always
I'm
free.
free. I'm free.
yeah, I always bring my two girlfriends, my wife and my ex-girlfriend. And we go and enjoy sake with my daughter and my wife.
My wife and my ex-girlfriend.
For a moment there, I was like, what?
Okay.
What's going on? Joshua, you
And-
haven't
and
done
like-
sake yet. You cannot
not
say
yet.
you're drunk and then say such thing, Like,
And I will bring these glasses, yeah, then I'll bring this and I'll put in a ice pack.
Okay.
Then I'll order let's order carrot cake.
okay.
So the East Coast guy is not
the,
bad.
the oyster omelette is very
Very
nice.
good. Black or white? The chai tak kueh.
The famous one is the white Hokkien.
Yeah.
Then I order the wok fried Hokkien Mee. There's one favorite stall there
Yeah.
near to the
Okay.
ATM. Then I'll buy maybe a stingray,
Okay.
The
So
barbecue chicken
the
wing?
barbecue chicken wing also.
all
Satay.
these different
Satay, no.
dishes.
Sometimes. Because the queue is too long.
only because the queue is
It's
too
always
long.
long in Lagoon. You
Yeah.
never
Yes.
get a table.
Yeah,
Must go. You sit outside, go aloha there and sit.
Okay.
Very
Oh
nice.
yes, correct.
Alright.
Yeah.
Then I'll bring my glasses. Then
Okay.
we'll take and taste. Oh, this is good with Hokkien Mee. So that's where I started this journey.
Right.
And
Oh, I
yeah,
see.
Then it becomes like a norm go-to, like chicken rice. Recently I did a master class. Then we talk about how to prepare sake, and I even had with bakwa.
Whoa.
with bakwa.
So what are the notes on that? What have you discovered in all these
if you need
pairings?
something spicy, for example, stingray, I
Okay.
would rather take something like a fruitier style of sake.
Okay, and
Yeah.
how do we again identify a fruitier style of sake?
If you look at the label, for example, if you like polish about 60% and below,
Okay.
some of the level of sweetness will be there.
Okay,
60 and
60
below for sweet.
Sweetness.
Taking
Then
notes.
if you drink the sake, which is like 88% and above, you will not get sweetness. You get a lot of umami characters in the sake.
And those would go
that
well
will
with
go
like,
well
what
with
kind of
maybe
local dishes?
a steak. I would also
Ooh.
recommend drinking sake with steak too.
That is interesting.
Yeah, you won't get heavy because of the tannin. There's no tannin in sake.
Can I just say, I think, Joshua, you are bringing something really unique to the whole sake world,
Yeah.
because I think you came in with this fresh perspective of pairing it with, non-traditional,
Yeah.
like Japanese, and then our local food, even steak. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to also ask you about sparkling sake.
Oh yes, it's a
Because
trend.
that's
It's
a
a
trend.
growing
I've
trend
had that. It's
among
really
the
nice.
ladies.
It is.
It's
delicious.
I liked it as well.
Oh yeah, it's a very it's a new trend.
It's yummy.
There are
yummy.
different ways of making. One way is the adding carbon dioxide, just like Coca-Cola, like a fizzy drink.
Okay.
Another one is like champagne. They put the yeast in and create a secondary fermentation.
Tastes like Riesling.
Yeah, sweet. Usually
Yeah.
quite sweet.
Quite nice.
Yeah.
And fruity as well. Like
That's
a
fruity as
yuzu
well.
and all
Yes,
that, right?
yeah. Yuzu is another style of sake where they add the yuzu fruit
Yeah.
inside. I went to the brewery. They add yuzu fruit in the sake. It's about 7% alcohol, so it's very refreshing.
Nice.
It's a palate cleanser actually.
Okay.
You can have it like yuzu shots with oysters.
Oh my
Instead of having
gosh.
lemon
That
slices,
sounds-
you have chilled yuzu shots.
That sounds really good.
What's
as
a
well.
good yuzu sake?
This brewery makes very good yuzu sake.
Oh, mine?
No, not me. The Yumi Yunado.
Yumi Yunado.
For a moment there, I
I've
thought
been
you
there.
said
I wasn't
all
there
mine.
much. All mine.
Is that what you're saying? You actually were saying that. All mine, right?
No, it's
all
Omine,
carols.
but it's pronounced.
All mine.
No, it's all mine, but it's pronounced Omine.
Omine.
Don't bluff, lah. You also want to have it all yours. Yes.
It's very ominous.
Oh my.
Actually, you brought in this sake for us to just have a quick taste
Not quick. To savor.
to savor it.
One does not have quick sake.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
I'm so rude. I didn't mean that. No disrespect there, but we're gonna head on air to show everybody how it goes down.
This is how we do it.
Let's do it.
Where's the bottle?
Hey, wait.
And the straw.
Oh, straw. Yes.
So we'll have the Love Mountain.
It's Lisa Loeb and Stay. I missed you here on 1FM 91.3 Good Times Greatest Hits. And here's a person I didn't know, but I miss him already. It's Joshua Kalinan. He's a sake sommelier. He's the first in Singapore to actually pioneer, sake's, how to pair it with local food, something that's never been done before.
And we even spoke about this on our Facebook Live. Steak. That's amazing.
Fried carrot cake, barbecued chicken wings, Hokkien mee with sake. What? Take us through that, Joshua.
I've done pairing with French cuisine. Last year I did with a French restaurant. I've done sake. I also done with a 3-star Michelin restaurant in an event, a masterclass event.
Oh, wow.
It was a blown out event because people never expected to taste sake. Even the chef also.
And like I was pointing out on Facebook Live, I think, Joshua is actually the first Singaporean, amongst the giants in this like sake sommelier and the sake industry as well. You're representing the country. And I think what you're bringing to that whole industry is just that fresh perspective. I think none of them ever thought of like pairing sake with like local Singapore food, steak, French food. There you go. Good on you, mate.
Well
Thank you.
done,
Thank you so
Joshua.
much.
Definitely
Thank you.
our honor to have you in the studio. So now you brought the goods. Time for us to taste it. Let's cut to the chase, okay?
You got your straw, Carol? You got your straw ready?
Tell us what you brought. Oh, he wants to put it. The whole bottle. Drink from the bottle.
Josh, as you pour this, I want to ask how cold should it be?
Oh, it's just like white wine.
Okay.
About 12-13 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, first one, it's a omine.
Okay.
The rice is very interesting because it's called ayama. The rice is from Hugo Prefecture, but in Japanese it means love mountain.
Oh, that's
So
Okay.
beautiful. Love mountain.
So when you drink this, guarantee love, the
Always.
size of a mountain.
Of course, you will love the mountain too.
Oh, you love the mountain? Yes.
drink it on a mountain.
Please,
Oh.
go ahead.
There
Yes.
you go.
Win-win. Can you hear the pouring? I love that.
Yes, can
Oh,
you
I
hear
got
the
the big cup.
sound?
Thank you.
Oh.
Wow. Generous portion.
Joshua, are you sure you want to give her the big glass, Joshua?
She asked for it. Actually, she asked for it. And
She
for you,
asked for it.
Lavinia. Shehzad,
Yes.
I'm sure you're thirsty too.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the first thing I've drunk all day. But
I'll take the small one.
Oh no! You just take
Which
the
is
bottle.
bigger than all of ours.
Okay.
actually.
So shall we say
Kampai.
kampai?
Okay.
Kampai.
1, 2, 3,
Kampai.
kampai. Clink, clink, clink.
Ooh, so this is
This is omine.
The omine?
This is Love Mountain.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, that's smooth.
Very smooth.
very,
smooth
very
and
smooth.
quite a little bit sweet.
A bit lychee,
Yes.
tropical fruits, and you get
Yes.
muscat. You know the
Like the grape.
grape
yeah.
muscat grapes.
It's beautiful.
So you get tropical flavors, in sake too.
Yes.
So if you enjoy it in a wine glass, it'll be beautiful.
Wow.
Actually,
Why is that?
it opens up the flavor actually because this
Okay.
is quite narrow, right?
Yeah. So it's okay to drink sake in a wine
It's
glass?
okay.
The sweeter ones or the
All
umami ones?
sakes you can drink in wine glass.
Is that
It's
what you're
beautiful.
advocating? Is that
I'm
your
always-
thing? That's
That's
your
my
thing.
thing. I've been talking about it for a while.
Hey, remember, okay, if you start drinking sake in a wine glass, it's because of Joshua.
Okay.
So, Joshua, like in wine where you get sort of earthy notes or, different things in the soil.
Yes.
Is it almost exactly the same thing with sake? Like different types of rice, so you get different notes.
Yes, and also the yeast. Some yeast gives you different characters too. So the yeast also plays a very important part in making sake. Yeah.
And are these like yeast, like they've been handed down, they've been existing for generations and all
Yes.
that? Wow.
Okay, there are different kinds of
Closely
yeast.
guarded.
Yes, some of the yeast are closely guarded by the brewery itself. They will not
Okay.
share with anyone.
There are ninjas involved,
They're like
isn't
ninjas,
it?
like-
Yes.
And some of the there are a couple of yeast. One of the yeast they call it the ambient yeast. So I went to this brewery, and he said this wall is more than 100 over years ago, and we don't clean the walls. I say why? Because there's yeast moving around. And when they do fermentation, they call it wild. They call it natural yeast or wild yeast fermentation. So the yeast works in the brewery. It's another like invisible stuff.
it came from the walls.
Free stuff that works. And the brewer, we call it toji. He has to control it because it can run wild.
And what happens?
It will spoil the fermentation method. So she controls it. He must be very skillful. I visited him. He's so good and he can control the yeast, There's one old lady I visited, about 60 something years old.
Wow.
And she also does that. She says these breweries are natural yeast. So
Who knew yeast needed controlling?
They sound naughty at times, don't they? Yes.
Japanese are so precise. They are so meticulous in what they do. In even the food preparation. Isn't it 10 years to be a sushi chef?
Yes.
I'm sure
Just
the
to wash the
expertise,
rice
right.
Yeah.
So the expertise required for sake is something to behold, isn't it?
yeah, most of them have like years of experience, Years.
Do you see yourself going down that route of, I don't know,
Not
trying to make
yet.
your own sake or being involved in that
let's
process?
See how, you never know. I always keep my options because I never know I come to this journey too,
Right.
So
That
it
was
keeps your
kind of a quirk of incidents that got you to
I
where
just
you
keep
are.
a positive energy with you and positive vibes, and I think
fabulous.
that's
How often do you go to Japan now?
right now I'm not flying because I run my own consulting.
Right,
firm.
right. But you got to check out the breweries.
is that a
and,
sake
all that?
consulting firm?
I run a beverage consulting.
I love that.
So I do like training, certification course in sake,
Oh,
master class for
Skills
corporate.
Future can use?
Not at the moment now.
Okay, I want to
Mine-
use my
I'm a
Skills
bespoke
Future.
program, so
I see, I
sorry.
see. Okay.
Oh, but
Think
yeah.
about it. Think about it.
Okay,
I'll
so
come
where
to
can
you.
we find out more about that? And anyone can go for these bespoke,
I
or is it
just
only
posted
with...
in my Instagram.
Okay, can
What's
you
your
tell
Instagram?
us?
Same name, Joshua Kalinan. I've not changed it.
Okay.
I'm not changed it. So and I talk about like how to pair local food also. I go restaurant and I love to cook. I love my family and myself love to cook.
Okay.
One question: the one you just gave us to drink or test.
Yes.
What would this go with?
Good question.
This one will go with your stingray. Sambal
Okay, so the
stingray.
omine 60%, Love
50%.
Mountain 50% with stingray, something sweet with like seafood, spicy.
Spicy.
Ah,
You can even
okay.
go with maybe a fish curry.
Okay,
I was
Chicken
just
curry.
going to
A
ask
butter
you,
chicken. A butter chicken.
what goes with curry?
A butter chicken. This sake is
Okay.
Butter chicken.
Butter
So
chicken.
balances
Patai
it out.
sambal, patai sambal.
Can.
Okay,
But
very good.
basically, it's the notes, right? So 50-something% and
Below,
below.
uh,
Will go well
Wakaluwa.
with like...
Bolokwak can. I've done with Peranakan food pairing before.
Ah.
But I need to refill a glass. I think
Okay,
you
yeah.
drank
Hey, wait, what?
Nothing
so
already.
fast.
Slowly.
I think it's leaking.
Slowly.
Hello, his is empty. I like how Shehzad is like
It's
sneaking
leaking.
his glass in.
I'm flying under the radar.
Joshua, before we wrap this up, what is, I don't know, 3 takeaways you want for everyone, even us, to know and remember about sake?
Be adventurous.
Okay.
Be open. Taste as much. Then you know your lovely taste profile.
Okay.
Because you trust your profile.
True, and and it should be about you, right? Yeah,
I
what
trust
you
it,
like.
What you like, and
Okay.
read up more. Read up more. You got a lot of magazines, books. Right now, more books.
Thank you, Joshua. I had a latent interest in sake. Now I have a very active
No,
interest in
it's all come out. Yeah, exactly.
So once again, you can find out more. Remember, he has a lot going on his Instagram. Head on over to Joshua Kalinan. That's Kalinan to
Thank
find
you.
out all you need to know about sake. Ooh, beautiful. Thank you for dropping
Thank
by.
you.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Bye.
Good times. Greatest hits. 1FM.